Hey sneak peekers, I'm Mason.
And I'm Alexandra.
We have some exciting stuff for you guys tonight, including a panel about Timothée Chalamet, a look at celebrity Halloween costumes, and an exciting review of the new Marvel movie Eternals.
And with that, let's get started.
Hey, Alexandra, did you hear the devastating news about what happened at Travis Scott's Astroworld Festival last weekend?
Yes, and I can't believe what happened.
Me too.
For those of you who don't know what happened, on Friday night at Travis Scott's Astroworld Festival in Houston, 8 people ended up dead and hundreds were injured.
Among those who have passed away, the ages ranged from 14 to 27.
Our thoughts go out to their friends and families.
While no one knows for sure what exactly happened, authorities stated that some people appeared to be trampled.
Houston Police Department Chief Troy Finer stated that this is now a criminal investigation that's going to involve our homicide division as well as our narcotics, and we're going to get down to the bottom of this.
Travis Scott has come out and said that he is going to cover the funeral expenses of those lost, as well as refund all of the attendees.
This comes after multiple lawsuits have been filed against Travis Scott, Live Nation, and others.
This is still an active and ongoing investigation, so we will be sure to update you all with more as it comes in.
In other news, last week we reported on the engagement of Kristen Stewart and Dylan Meyer.
But with more excitement for the two, Guy Fieri is all in to officiate their wedding.
I don't know about you, Mason, but I'm way too excited for this wedding.
Oh, me too.
I'm also excited for this week's installment of Style Squad.
I can't wait to see what they have to say about celebrities' 2021 Halloween costumes.
Me too. Take it away, guys.
Good evening, sneak peekers, and welcome to Style Squad. Now, spooky season may be over, but today, Sydney and I are going to review some of our favorite and least favorite looks from this year's Halloween. And let me just say, there were definitely some wins and some flops. And speaking of flops, I'm going to start us off with a probably hot take, Kendall Jenner's costume. She was the Martian girl from Mars Attacks, and after doing some research, I can see what she was going for, but I just don't like it. It's very unsettling, which I'm sure it's what she was going for, but it just isn't doing it for me. I don't know. What do you think, Sydney?
I completely agree, Amanda. I definitely see where Kendall was going with the outfit, but something about her giant hair or dress was just not working for me. Another look I did not love was Justin Bieber's bear costume. In my opinion, it was just very underwhelming and very simple. I definitely think Bieber could have done a little more.
I completely agree, Sydney. It just seemed like it was put together last minute. On the flip side, one look I could not get enough of is Lizzo as Baby Yoda. Now, hear me out. I know some people weren't a fan of it, but I was obsessed. I think it was a perfect balance of funny and unusual. I'll definitely be keeping out a closer eye on her costumes for inspo.
Yes, Lizzo absolutely served as Baby Yoda, and her dedication to the makeup and costume was incredible. Another favorite of mine has to have been The Weeknd as the Godfather himself, Don Corleone. He completely transformed himself into Marlon Brando. I honestly could not even tell that it was him. I can't wait to see what he does next year as he consistently serves every Halloween.
Oh my God, yes. Whoever did his makeup definitely deserves an award. And really quick, 3 of my other favorite looks this year were Hailey Baldwin as Britney Spears. I think she did a phenomenal job of recreating her look, and even I had to do a double take at her post. Then there's Cardi B as Morticia Adams. I just love seeing this hot mom portraying one of TV's most popular hot moms. And lastly, Janelle Monáe as the Grinch. What can I say? I saw her post and I burst out laughing, so it's a win in my books.
Yes, Janelle Monáe definitely gave me a laugh. 3 of my favorites had to include Doja Cat as Kida from Atlantis, The Lost Emperor. I absolutely loved the Bluetooth piece she wore, and she did not miss one single detail for the hair, makeup, or jewelry. Another favorite of mine was Lil Nas X as Voldemort. His commitment to these special effects completely transformed him into the character, and it was incredible to see. Thirdly, our list would not be complete if we did not include Miss Ariana Grande herself as Miss Creature from the Black Lagoon. The special effects were outstanding, completely disguising her as this green swamp monster. I can't even begin to imagine how long it must have taken to wash off all that green makeup.
Ugh, just thinking about it gives me shivers. Also, you now have to talk about it, maybe the most divisive costume of all of them, Taylor Swift's. Now, I know people are obsessed with her, and I personally like her, but really, I mean, this onesie is something I would definitely expect from last year's Halloween. But now, I mean, where's the effort? But what do you think?
Yeah, I definitely see where you're coming from, Amanda. I would have loved to see a bit more from Taylor, but it was a great nod to her song, We Are Never Getting Back Together, which we'll get to see her version of this Friday.
That is right. Anyway, whether you love or hate her costume, we would love to hear about what you think about that, as well as other celebrities' costume. Tweet us at SneakPeekTV.
Have you seen Eternals yet?
Not yet, but I'm a big fan of Marvel movies, so I'm planning on watching it.
Me too. Although I am hearing mixed reviews of this new addition to the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Well, here we have Kelsey to tell us her thoughts on the recent release.
Tell us about it, Kelsey.
If you didn't already know, Eternals is the newest Marvel cinematic film, this time directed by Oscar winner Chloe Zhao and starring Richard Madden, Gemma Chan, Kumail Nanjiani, Angelina Jolie, and Salma Hayek, among many other talented stars. The start of this movie is breathtaking. The visuals on display here are truly stunning. This is not cinematographer Ben Davis's first Marvel film, but he levels up here as Chloe Zhao stuns and brings in those same visuals that made her so iconic with indie favorites in The Witcher and Nomadland. As far as the cast, the real standout for me was Kumail Nanjiani's Kingo, who brings a much-needed sense of humor and levity to the film with his style and valet, Kuran. Other standouts were Brian Tyree Henry as Phastos, Lauren Riddoff as Makari, and Barry Keoghan as Druig, all of whom had interesting powers, romantic relationships, and were just captivating on screen. I only wish they had more screen time. This movie is chock full of characters and plot, which, despite its nearly 3-hour run time, leads to some characters getting shortchanged. Chloe Zhao bites off a lot here, trying to tell a superhero tale that includes conversations of what it means to be human, what is love, climate change, are humans inherently good, deep thoughts on humanity and life, and while most of it is successful, I kind of wish she would have dove deeper into one of those and left some for future Eternal movies to discuss. Because of my enjoyment of it, I would be remiss not to mention others' thoughts on the film. While the film does sit at a score of 81% with fans on Rotten Tomatoes, a very respectable audience score, it is currently at 48% rotten with critics. It also got a B cinema score from in-theater audiences, which is the lowest of the MCU. For reference, that's the same score as the much-divided Batman vs. Superman, and lower than fellow 2021 MCU films Shang-Chi and Black Widow, which got an A and A- respectively. Overall, I think the controversy is unwarranted, and this film in no way deserves to have that low of scores. Chloe Zhao wanted to accomplish a lot here, and maybe like Icarus, she flew a little too close to the sun. But personally, I liked a lot of what she had to say. While I do think the film could have been better in terms of refining the conflicts of the story, I'm gonna give the Eternals a 7 out of 10. Oh, and of course, the post-credit scenes are great. They introduce exciting characters who I'm sure will play a huge role in the future of the MCU, and they don't disappoint either. That's all from me. Now back to the hosts.
I'm not sure how I'm going to feel about Eternals.
Well, we should definitely see it this weekend.
Sounds like a plan. And sneak peekers, if you have already seen Eternals and you need a different movie to check out, we sent Hunter and Robbie to Austin Film Festival a few weeks ago to hit the red carpet for the new movie, The Humans.
The movie is set to be released on November 24th, so we have an exclusive interview to share with y'all to get you ready for it. Take it away, Hunter.
Hey sneak peekers, this is Hunter Gasaway here at the premiere of The Humans. I'm so excited to see it. So, are you balancing a job with all your studies?
The main reason I'm not done with school yet is because I was depressed for a bit. I'm fine now.
In our family, we don't have that kind of depression.
Dad. Whoa, come back to Earth.
Sorry.
No, we just have a lot of stoic sadness.
So, as I understand, The Humans was previously a Broadway show. So, can you talk a little bit about the process of changing it from something that was to be seen on the stage as to something to be seen on the screen?
Yeah, I mean, the thrilling thing about movies is you're thinking about images. So, in some ways, you think of it as a whole new thing. And from page one, the screenplay was imagining it as a film, which for me means like the way to get at the same soul and the heart of the thing in a new medium like film. It felt like creating a whole new story in some ways. And that was good because it got me out of my head or just leaning on something that existed and reinventing it. Also, the movie's a lot scarier than the play.
Awesome. And as I understand, this is your first time directing a film. So what was it like jumping into something like that with actors like Steven Yeun, Beanie Feldstein, Richard Jenkins?
Well, I guess it's like a two-part answer. Number one is terrifying because anything you don't, I'd be lying if I didn't say I wasn't very scared, but you prepare a lot. And then the cast that you just mentioned, all 6 actors were so brilliant and so generous that I quickly learned everything that makes them also, crazy geniuses also made them really great to work with. So in the best of ways, like making this film felt like a team sport. So it was as hard as I thought it would be, but also a lot easier.
Yeah, I can see that. What was something that you thought was like hard on the screen or on the stage or on the script that really clicked once you got to working with those actors? Is there anything like that?
Oh yeah, the history of the family. Film moves fast, so you have 28 days. Theater, you might have more time, previews, rehearsal. So Stephen and Beanie have been a couple for, how do you build this history like that? And I think the thing that was surprising was how much the cast, the chemistry that they had. Jane and Richard Jenkins, Jane Howdy-Shell, both Midwestern, so they had roots and connections. And I turned around after they had known each other for 2 minutes, and it felt like they had known each other for years. So you can't expect that or prepare for that, but that was the biggest gift was how quickly they all they genuinely like each other.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
So earlier you mentioned that the movie's much scarier than the show was. So what do you hope that the audience gets from watching The Humans?
I hope it just makes them think about their own lives and their own family and the people that they love and the way that they're maybe processing their own fears, maybe the love in their own life that they're using to cope with setbacks and the things that are keeping them up at night. That's it more than any specific, like, this is the takeaway, because I feel like especially like the power of putting other people's families on screen is that and you feel this when I show the movie to people, that my favorite thing is when people start to talk about their own relationships with their mother, with their sister, with their partner. I find that the most rewarding.
It's a family I can always come home to.
To knowing this is what matters, right here. Because everything anyone's got, no matter who you are, everything you have goes.
Well, that's a positive way of looking at things.
Wow. Do that at a funeral.
Have you seen Dune, Alexandra?
I have, and I absolutely loved it, especially because Timothée Chalamet is in it.
Me too, but I know one person here at Sneak Peek that loves him even more than we do. So tonight, we have Grace here to share with us all of the Timothée Chalamet content we need right now.
She also has Emily and Kate with her, so let's hear it, y'all.
Hey Sneak Peekers, I'm Grace, and tonight I have Kate and Emily here with me to talk about the one and only Timothée Chalamet. So he just had 2 huge new movies come out, Dune and The French Dispatch. What did y'all think?
I personally loved Dune.
I loved it too.
Yeah,
It
I
was
thought it was
great.
fantastic.
Yeah.
I know a lot of like people that were huge fans of the book thought that he was kind of an interesting pick for Paul Atreides, which I understand. But I thought he pulled it off really well. I know we're used to seeing him in kind of more in dramatic roles, and this was definitely a new challenge for him, but I thought he did really fantastic.
Yeah, I thought he did really well too. Actually, I was reading something that the director said, the Gom Jabbar scene when he was tested with pain, there's a really intense, like, transformative process, and while they were shooting it, he was looking at Timmy and was just like, he's capturing this transformation really well, and he was just like the perfect pick for the role, and so that's when he realized that he made the right decision with Timothée, and so yeah, I think he portrayed the character really well, and I'm really excited for the second one.
Yeah, I thought that scene was fantastic, and I thought he had great on-screen chemistry with Rebecca Ferguson the whole time. I thought they were fantastic, and I know we only saw Zendaya for a couple minutes at the end, but I thought they were like great on camera together.
It was a good build-up.
Yeah.
It was a good build-up to the potential part 2.
Yeah, and I love their friendship off screen.
Yeah,
I feel like it makes their chemistry better on screen is that they're so close off screen, so it's like it has to be comfortable filming everything.
Yeah,
but,
definitely.
Yeah.
That's how I felt watching The French Dispatch. I felt like he had a ridiculous cast, so how could it not have been good? And I love Wes Anderson, so I was super excited about it. But I thought it showed off like a more funny side of him because, as you were saying, he has done a lot of like more serious and dramatic roles.
Dark.
So yeah, this was kind of like a goofier and sillier like role for him, which I thought he really embraced, and I really enjoyed watching it.
Good. I haven't seen that one, but I'm really excited.
Get excited.
Yeah, we need to go see that.
Yeah, no, I thought it was great. I'll go see it again.
Okay, we'll make that plan.
Yeah. So what's y'all's favorite, like all-time favorite movie that he's been in?
My personal favorite is Little Women. I love Greta Gerwig. I think everything she does is so incredible, and I just thought that cast like was so amazing. Like Florence Pugh, Saoirse Ronan. Like I thought he had such great chemistry with every single like girl in that cast, and just like seeing them all together is so great, and like it's just good vibes. Like I rewatch that movie all the time, like especially this time of year. Like I just feel like that movie's so beautiful and well done, and it was like fun to see him. Like we said, a lot of his roles are a little darker, so it was super fun to see him in something kind of like lighthearted, and like he played a child, like a younger character, so I thought that was really fun.
Yeah, I did too. I love that movie. I watch it. It's more of like a Christmas thing for me. I'm excited in the coming months to watch that.
It makes me cry in a good way.
I love it. My favorite probably would have to be his breakout role in Call Me By Your Name, the 2018, I think it came out in January of that year. It was just, not only did his talent in acting come across through the screen in this breakout role of his, but also he had to learn the piano for it, he had to learn Italian for it. He spoke English, French, and Italian throughout the movie, like switching between them flawlessly. And so, yeah, I just thought that he also portrayed the complexities and confusion of being a teenager and falling in love, and especially in this case, kind of wrestling with his, like, coming to terms with his sexuality. It was a big thing, and you could just kind of see his wheels turning throughout the whole thing. And, I just thought it was beautiful, along with the Italian countryside in the back. That's
a beautiful movie. I love that one. It was interesting. So the movie I want to talk about, my favorite one is Lady Bird. So it was interesting in seeing him from Call Me By Your Name in such, like, a more, like, sensitive role to then seeing his character in Lady Bird. It was, like, so dramatically different, but it showed, like, he has range. So I feel like he was showing that right off the bat. And I just love that movie. Like you were saying, I think Greta Gerwig's incredible. Saoirse Ronan's in that movie. Beanie Feldstein, Lucas Hedges. I thought it was incredible. Like, that's definitely got to be, like, one of my all-time favorite movies. Like, his character wasn't necessarily the most likable character, but, like, I thought it was impressive because, like, he had just done Call Me By Your Name, and, like, you love Elio, his character, so much. And then you go from that to Kyle, his character in Lady Bird, and you're like, I hate this kid, but, like...
But he did it well.
But yeah, he did it well.
Exactly.
You
He's
wouldn't
so
feel
talented.
bad if he didn't do it well.
I thought it was just so good.
I did totally too. Agree. Yeah. So what do you guys think is, like, his best overall performance?
I'm gonna go back to Little Women. I really love that movie, and I just thought he played that character so well, and like just how they all did, like playing the younger version of the character and then having to be this more mature but like still the same character. I thought he did that so fantastically, and just alongside all those incredible actresses, I thought that performance was just incredible.
Lori has a special place in
my
heart.
I absolutely love that movie.
It's so good. I probably have to go with Beautiful Boy.
That's what I was gonna say.
Yes, we were crying throughout that whole thing. I think especially a lot of people have a kind of a negative connotation of drug addicts in general, and in this movie you got to see like his love for his family and his softer side, and he had a passion for writing and all of this other complexity of the character, along with his kind of violent outbursts due to the drugs, which is really unfortunate. But I thought that the different layers to the character, he really brought all of those out.
I also just thought it was incredible because it's like a true story, so that like as an actor has to be so intimidating to take on. Like he wasn't playing a character, he was like telling like Nick Chef's actual story. So I just thought it was impressive how he was able to do that while like remaining true to the story, but then also kind of like putting his own, like as an actor you always put like yourself into it. So I feel like you saw himself in the role, but he was also able to like portray it like respectfully, because it was a difficult role to play.
Right. And he's had to have spent a lot of time with the actual family to really like try to study what actually happened. And I know that a lot of people were saying that he incorporated kind of movements, like behavioral mannerisms that drug addicts did. Like he would twitch and like stick his tongue out at some points, like do things that were actually true to the situation.
Right. Which just makes the performance that much better.
Yeah, I thought it was incredible. And like he could like, when I was watching the movie, I felt like he could say so much without saying anything at all. Like there's one scene where he's like hugs his dad and then he walks away, and you just like feel so much as he's walking away, but he's not saying anything. I was like, that is insane. Like he's so talented.
Totally.
You could feel everything in the silence.
I know.
It was so sad.
Yeah, that has to be his best performance for sure.
Yes.
He has a lot of new stuff coming out too. Like in the next year, he's like 4 projects coming out.
Yeah, he's tons.
He's being casted in everything.
I know.
Recently.
As he should.
I mean,
obviously, he's ridiculously
I'm
talented.
personally so excited for Don't Look Up. It actually comes than I thought, but it's on Netflix, and it's like it's such a stacked cast. So I'm so excited to see him alongside Jennifer Lawrence and Leonardo DiCaprio and Meryl Streep and just all these incredible names. Like I think Ariana Grande even has a role in that for a little while. So I just think that's going to be so interesting.
Yeah. That's really something to look forward to. That cast is insane. Yeah. I'm really excited for Dune Part 2, of course, just because you get to finish the story, which is really going to be interesting, them exploring like the desert more, and I'm excited to see his relationship with Zendaya kind of flourish and see what that's like, because they already have such great chemistry. It must be so exciting for them to have this project to look forward to.
Yeah. I'm really excited to see Wonka. I just want to see him singing and dancing in the top hat.
It's
so
awesome.
I'm really excited for that one. Yeah. But that's all from us today. Back to the hosts.
Thanks, guys.
That's all for tonight, folks, but be sure to join us next week to get the latest in pop culture.
I'm Mason Simpson.
And I'm Alexandra Whitlock.
See you next week, Sneak Peekers.